Hello again. In the previous episode, we talked about the importance of keeping private and anonymous your address, both personal and work. In this episode, we will discuss one alternative to sharing your actual address, namely virtual mailing addresses. Let's go. Virtual mailing addresses are a relatively new service offered by companies like ipostal1.com. A virtual mailing address is a personal mailbox number at a physical address owned by the service provider. First, you register with the service provider, which costs between $10 to $50 a month. Then, you pick one of their office locations where you want to receive the mail. This is a real brick-and-mortar place with a real street address. You will be asked to upload a form authorizing your virtual mailbox location to receive mail on your behalf. After you are done with the paperwork, the service provides you with the details of the virtual mailing address, its name, street, zip code, city, etc. You can start using this virtual mailing address to receive mail and packages. When the sender sends some mail to the virtual mailing address, it gets delivered and handled at the given location by the service representatives. It is up to you to decide what happens to it after that. You can forward it, collect it in person, or discard it. Virtual mailing address services offer some extra goodies like mail forwarding to other addresses, a scan of your mail, which you can see on your mobile application, discarding and shredding of unwanted mail through the application, or scheduling a pickup where you can go to the location and collect your mail. Now that we know how virtual mailing addresses work, let us see their benefits and downsides. We will begin with the good things. The first benefit is that virtual mailing addresses improve privacy. You don't reveal your personal address to third parties you may or may not trust. Instead, they get the address of the service location and interact only with the service representatives. Second, it is a real physical street address. This means that you can receive packages from any carrier, as long as the size of the package is within certain limits. I imagine you cannot deliver a grand piano to a virtual mailing address location. Third, virtual mailing addresses provide mail handling and protection from theft. The service physical locations have state-of-the-art security. This ensures your mail won't get stolen or tampered with. In favor of impartiality, now we will discuss the downsides of using virtual mailing addresses. The first downside is that you are trusting your mail with the service provider. This happens in two ways. One, you give your permission to the service to handle, forward, or dispose of your correspondence. Two, you trust the service with physically handling your mails and packages. While the providers follow the security and privacy practices, it is still a judgment call to decide what kind of mail to trust with them. As an extension to this, you give your personal information to the service provider when you register. You need to be sure that they are certified to handle it and not misuse it. The third downside is that these services are not free. They cost a certain monthly fee. The fourth disadvantage is that at the moment, virtual mailing services offer a very small number of physical locations. These services are available mostly in the US and a limited number of locations in some other countries, usually one or two per country. And the last disadvantage comes for volume mail. If you expect a very large amount of mail, then a virtual email address service may not be appropriate for your case. In this episode, we discovered virtual mailing addresses. They are good when you want to receive mail and packages to a physical location without revealing your personal address. As such, they can be a useful tool in creating your online pseudonym.